Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of Momentum. Today I want to talk to you quickly about the 3 biggest changes that I made in 2024 that I'll be bringing into 2025. So you know how like everyone's doing the what's in, what's out kind of energy. This is just my take on that. What are 3 of my biggest changes that I made in 2024 that I'm bringing into 2025? So feel free to steal any of these because they've definitely been an absolute game changer. One has been being focused on being more strategic. I've been so focused on setting really clear, expansive goals and then being really strategic on how am I going to execute on all of this. And it's been like really specific goals, but not too many goals. And I think I just want to highlight that because I think sometimes when we put too many goals, we end up really executing on not many. Whereas I was like, no, the 3 main things for my year are going to be this. And I really make sure that I executed on those. So I honed in what was really there to move the needle within my business instead of trying to do absolutely everything and waste things on stuff that just took longer or that just really was not really the direction that I wanted to go. I focused on what were my specific goals that I really wanted to achieve and how can I be more methodical, how can I be more intentional, and I spent the time doing the most important things in my business to move it forward. Number 2 was I expanded my network. You know this, I've been talking about this a lot, but it has been so fundamental with honestly absolutely game changing for the growth of my business over the year. And it is where I've stepped out of my comfort zone the most. It is where I've gotten into incredible rooms with incredible people. It's where I've gotten out of my own way, really manage my mindset, work through imposter syndrome in order to create those connections and to be able to be inspired and challenged to really think bigger. So expanding my network was definitely something that I intentionally went into the year with, and definitely what I'm going to continue to do this year. But what I mean by this is being really intentional about expanding my network was that I spent time and I prioritized it. This would not have happened if I hadn't have prioritized it week in, week out. Now, there was definitely some times where it kind of got pushed to the wayside, but then I kept bringing it back because it was really important for me last year. And so I worked on nurturing those relationships. And now all of these incredible opportunities are coming through where I've been able to book some speaking events in America, where I've been able to make some really incredible connections for the guests on the podcast, where I've been invited to speak for other people's communities like Lori Harder, and so much still happening. So I feel like none of that would have happened if I hadn't have intentionally focused on expanding my network. And the last one was choosing courage over fear every single time. Whenever fear crept in, I reminded myself that growth does not happen in your comfort zone. You're gonna have to get uncomfortable and you're gonna have to pay attention to when fear shows up, and you're gonna have to choose courage over it every single time. And that has been such an incredible game changer. If you can just adopt that one, honestly, your whole life will change. So in those moments where I was like, oh no, and I doubted myself, or I didn't think I was ready, or I didn't think I had the money for it, I didn't think that, like, all of these doubts and fears crept in, I was like, no. You said you're going to focus on courage over fear this year. And I continuously did that. I was like, no, take the step, take the action, send the email, ask for that, pitch for this, go after the things that you want unapologetically. So I can't tell you how many times that I had to do that, where I had to have that conversation with myself and coach myself through it. It has been one of the biggest challenges and also the biggest payoffs in my year from 2024, which I'll absolutely be bringing into 2025. And I feel like that's super expanded my own identity as well with it. Like I now understand and believe that I'm absolutely an action taker, and I'm absolutely someone that chooses courage over fear again and again. So if you take out any of these at all, please choose courage over fear, because life is not here to be lived through fear, through the lens of fear. It is here to be experienced and, tap into your adventurous side, because you just never know what could happen if you just ask. So I actually challenged one of my Next Level Mastermind members to pitch to an incredible guest for her podcast. And we were talking about it and I was like, what do you got to lose? Pitch it, create an incredible pitch and send it, because even if you just focus on building the relationship, you just never know. She might say yes straight up, or she might not say yes. She might respond. She most likely will respond. And then you can start building on the relationship. But what do you got to lose? And so often we just count ourselves out of the race before we even start. And this is where you've got to continue to choose courage over fear again and again and again. And that's what separates the gunner people from the successful people. So if that's anything that you do this year, I hope that you choose courage over fear.